Hola bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic. This is episode 21, 21 of season 3. I know, I just published episode 20, but times are intense, it's time for change, and I'm rolling with my flow of inspiration. So I'm feeling super energized today and want to share things with you, want to share my magic with you. So I hope you're well. Owl and I say hello. Bueno, para hoy, das Thema heute, I was reflecting on a big topic, that of freedom. And I remembered a book I read as a teenager by Erich Fromm, auf Deutsch in German original language, Die Furcht vor der Freiheit, in English, Escape from Freedom. So Fromm is great. He basically elaborated on this notion or on this question. Do we really, we all claim that we want to be free, that we want freedom. But is that really so? And I've come face to face to that question a few times in my life, every time I was presented with an intersection or a choice to be made regarding my life path. So as some of you may know, I'm a visual artist, and it's interesting how many times when I was given the choice of just doing what I wanted to do, I evaded that and I told myself, oh no, I will do that when ... fill in the blank. I will be an artist when I have enough money, when I have saved enough money, when the time is right, the list of excuses is endless, to the point where I realized that maybe I'm just scared. Maybe I'm just really scared to truly be and have what I truly desire. It seems a paradox. How can you be scared of what you want? But I guess psychologically, it's like this fear of success. It's when success and a desire to be fulfilled is in reach, our ego is threatened in the sense that, we fear all of a sudden being in the limelight. We fear actually being heard. We fear the responsibility that freedom might entail. Because what does freedom mean anyway? Freedom for me, above all, means a freedom of choice, that you are conscious enough to really make a choice. And I spoke about this in my previous episode, in relation to unresolved trauma or limiting beliefs. Are we really free to choose if we're still bound by unprocessed feelings or hurts or traumas from the past? Or are we just replaying and projecting the same hurt so as to see that we are still wounded? We're doing this unconsciously. So if we carry unprocessed or unconscious patterns, belief systems, then we basically operate from that. It's basically like a software program, no? We operate according to our software programs. And often these programming or conditioning has been given to us when we were younger. Because when as kids, we're like sponges. We absorb everything, information, emotions. Unfortunately, also especially if you're highly sensitive, empathetic, we absorb everything and take that as reality. And then we continue those patterns, things that others have told us or things that we then internalize and tell ourselves. Critic voice, is fed by this internal negative dialogue. We replay this tape and we knowingly or unknowingly think, feel and act according to those ingrained beliefs. And many times we don't question those beliefs. So we're literally running on autopilot, no? And that is not what I would call operating with a sense of freedom, because there's no choice there when we're operating from an unconscious pattern. The question is, though, when we become conscious of our patterns and we suddenly have a choice to respond to a situation rather than to unconsciously react, because what this conditioning does is it's so fast. Those neural pathways are so ingrained that it's immediate almost, the reaction. If we get triggered, we react, boom. It takes a conscious effort to create a breathing space so that we can recognize that we're operating from a pattern and then choose differently. There's no choice when it's a instant reaction, no? It's too fast. So in this process of, I guess, awareness, becoming more conscious and healing and integrating, we become more and more free in the sense that we recognize our own patterns, our own conditioning, our triggers, and then are given a choice to respond differently to an old trigger. And what I've found often is that not only is it more comfortable to remain in the old pattern and to reinforce, it's easier because it's like a carril, it's like a trench that we've, like a, when you like drive to work, from home to work, you can almost do it blindly because you're an autopilot. Our brains love patterns and love to automate things. That's why habits are so useful, no? Because it saves the brain of, it basically helps the brain to simplify things. And what I've realized in this healing process, when I suddenly have a choice to respond to situation, the tendency is still to act out of the old pattern, because yes, it's not only already ingrained, but also it's scary. It's scary to try out something different because then we do not know the result. So the thing also about acting out of conditioning and old patterns is that we are comfortable in the familiarity of the result, even though it hurts us. It's crazy, it's twisted. So although a situation or a belief or a pattern is not serving us anymore, and we're very well aware of that, at least we tell ourselves, at least it's familiar, at least we know what to expect. Isn't that crazy? So the escape from freedom, honestly, I am not surprised at the state of the world. I don't watch any news, but let's just say that when I do switch on TV and news, it's the same stories, same spectacle on replay. And, we're also outraged. Sorry, I don't want to talk about let's talk about me. I used to be so outraged about all these like dictators and all the injustice happening in the world. But then, what am I doing to actually change anything? For me, those dictators are just se stanno aprovechando. They're just acting out or claiming, feeding on our passivity. Because action requires courage, requires facing our fear of trying out something new, requires responsibility. And let's be honest, man, so many times I love to escape my own responsibilities because it's more comfortable. It's like, nope, it wasn't me. I don't want to deal with the consequences. What if it goes wrong? I'm going to be the one responsible? Oh, thank you. So honestly, how often am I passive? What am I really doing to create a different reality? How often am I really acting out of freedom? And how often am I really acting out of familiar passivity? There's a book also called The Phantom of Psyche. It's the destructive part of our psyche that feeds on our passivity. It nurtures the critic in ourselves telling us that we're not good enough, that we don't have a voice, that we have nothing to say, that we're not this enough or to this. I mean, the list goes on and on. But that's just ego. It really is. I try and face my fears, because I know that in facing these fears, each time I really look at them and work with them, not bulldoze them, but work with them and do it despite of the fears, I have gained an inch of freedom. Every time I contract into fear, fear has won. So it's testing, it's pushing these limits, my own limits. And I want to give you a quote of Erich Fromm here, which is also very insightful. The more the drive toward life is thwarted, bent, the stronger is the drive toward destruction. The more life is realized, the less is the strength of destructiveness. Destructiveness is the outcome of unlived life. Erich Fromm, Escape from Freedom. And I have witnessed this misdirected force of creation in myself when I was in the depths of my depression, this force that wanted me to grow. I halted it, I blocked it, and we know that energy doesn't just disappear. So what happened is this huge wave of energy that was supposed to go outwards towards my self-expression, my expansion, and my development. I distorted it. I refracted it back inwards. And it was destruction. It was basically, I was auto-destructing. Instead of creating, I was auto-destructing. And that force was powerful, extremely powerful. It almost, it got very, very dark because my ego resisted that change, that I was stuck in the birth canal. That's what metaphorically, that's what my friend told me. You're stuck in the birth canal. You need to be rebirthed now. But I was resisting so hard and refracting creative energy back inwards, and it was a lot of auto-destruction. And we see that in the world. I mean, how much destruction, violence do we see? Isn't that just a sign of despair and thwarted creative energy? Under anger and under violence often lies pain, unexpressed pain, unheard pain, despair, unfiltered, unchanneled creative energy. Hence, it's so important. I mean, we are innately creative beings. We're born, we are creators. If we do not claim and stand in that power as creators and harness it and channel it and express it in creative ways, that energy will seep out, leach out, thwart, come out in shadow aspects and in destructive and in violent ways. War, everything atrocious that is out there is a distortion of creative energy. But going back to freedom, I ask myself also, do I really want to be free from my old and limiting beliefs and old ways of thinking? Or isn't it better to succumb to the familiar? They say that often angels shake you and shake your foundation so you wake up. It's not like these beautiful, only peaceful beings. You know, often earth angels, in my experience, I've had people come to me and really shake my foundations to the core, my notion of self, so that I could recognize the falseness of my ego construction. And often I felt like the devil is the seductive voice that whispers into my ear, no, it's okay, just stay like that. It's better like this. Comfort is better. No need to change. Why change? It's too hard. You know, it's some kind of seducing voice that wants to keep you stuck, doesn't want you to liberate yourself. So I'm going to do something different on this topic. I've got my Enchanted map oracle card, and so far I've been pulling the card just before the episode and then I showed them, but I'm going to pull it right here in front of you. Vale? Para variar. Mal was anderes ausprobieren. So I set the intention and I'm asking my angels, spirit guides, ancestors, and spirit himself for guidance for a card in my highest good and the highest good of all of you and all of us together, because we're connected. So, is there anything, channeled message for this episode, please? Channeled message. Okay. So what came out is storm fields. Voila. Can you see? There's like a castle in the back, some flowers, some mushrooms. There's a bee above the flowers, mushrooms, and then this castle in the back, or cottage in the back, and a storm. Looks like a tornado. So this came out reversed. Vale? I'm going to read it out. Nummer 9, reversed. Storm feels. This too shall pass. Reversed. Now is not the time to engage in any activity that brings unwanted chaos or drama into your life. This kind of storm can be destructive, and you'll regret your actions later. Hurtful words will be carried on the wind and bring a tornado of betrayal, anger, and unnecessary angst. Find shelter. This turbulent weather will pass and your house will be untouched. Say no to drama. Wait till the storm blows over. Only then will you be heard. So, not sure who that message was for, if it resonates with any one of you, but this talks exactly about reactions, no? The destructive storm of emotions, and I've experienced it a lot. I have, according to human design, a very open emotional center, which makes complete sense. I often feel swamped. I feel things very intensely, and I often feel swamped by emotions. Also has to do because I'm highly sensitive, and I'm challenged by creating energetic and emotional boundaries between myself and others. And I feel everything very intensely, which makes me a little bit dramatic also at times. So my challenge is really to stay grounded and centered and not let myself be overwhelmed or swamped by my own emotions, by my feelings. Because I know if I get into that state, I feel stressed and I get aggressive. I act out of aggression because I feel threatened. So as soon as we feel unsafe, we talked about security, outer security and inner safety. Once I don't feel safe in myself, then I lash out. Imagine like a trapped animal or wounded animal, no? So the challenge is when storms hit us, emotional storms hit us, to stay grounded and really tell ourselves this too shall pass. Breathe, stay centered, not escape the emotions either, which is what I also used to do before, like deny my emotions or try and shut them down or run away from them, but just literally ride the wave and wait it out and ground myself and not react. Try my best not to react out of the emotions, because I know that will cause hurt. It will hurt someone else, it will hurt me. So that's the challenge. And yeah, I guess in general, the sense of destructiveness, we talked about that, thwarted creative energy. The chaos and the destruction and the violence I feel we see in the world is an expression of unprocessed pain. There's a lot of pain, a lot of hurt people around us, and the best we can do is first be there for ourselves, because I used to carry so much pain. I want to deal with my own wounds and hurt first before I start projecting it outwards. That's why it's so important that every one of us does our inner work, because by healing and by integrating, by becoming whole again, by processing things, by doing that inner work, we affect our surroundings so much. You know, it's a sad thing to hear that. When I hear, or I used to tell myself too, oh, you know, what am I going to do? The world is so huge, there's so many people. Well, what am I going to do? What difference does it make? So to downplay our own importance and value and impact on others and the world at large is it's tragic. we are a universe. Each one of us is a universe in itself. And we have so much creative power. We have so much power, period. And when we recognize that and stand in that power, we step into our freedom and have the power to create. That's also where free choice comes in. When are we going to stop complaining, and when are we really going to do something about it? I procrastinate a lot, and I keep on reminding myself, Melanie, a dream is no good if it's just a fantasy. Let's bring it down to 3D. Act. Yes, dream and believe, but act it out. Manifest that dream. Create that dream. Co-create that dream. Or the kind of world you want to live in. You know, I tell myself there's no point for me to talk about love and peace and all the and all the rainbows if I don't feel it, if I am not joy, if I am not joyful. What's the point, you know? How can technical glitch. What I was saying was that, you know, how can I expect something from the world if I not myself give or embody that precisely what I want? What we give out, what we project out, is what we receive. That's what is meant by we create our own reality. But we have to, it has to come from here. There's no point in feeling entitled and expecting others to feed us in that sense. Why not be the change that we want to see in the world? So I'm telling myself, what do you want, Melanie? And who do you need to be for that to be materialized? Who do you need to become? What do you choose every day? Do you choose fear, contraction, stuckness, or expansion, joy, love, adventure, freshness, newness, change? So my aim is to live an embodied spirituality, a pragmatic idealism, a spirited life, integrating spirit with the body, not separating anymore. Even the mind, integrate mind, spirit, soul, body, all of our different bodies, emotional, astral, spiritual, 3D. It's really about integration. So it's afternoon here. I just letting this truck pass. I hope you're well. It's becoming super summerly here, beautiful temperatures, and yeah, I wonder what your take is on this. You know, there are all these big words that we throw about and use, and it's time to really reflect on the meaning of them and what they mean for us personally. It's really about us, realizing everything starts with us. Thoughts we think, the habits we form, the belief patterns we create, the kind of perception we have of the world, what we project into the world. It's huge, it's massive. Let's remember our power and our infinite potential that is waiting for us to channel and manifest into the 3D right here, right now. Yeah. That's why, at least with Magic Mail, I'm not procrastinating. I'm putting it out there. As soon as I get inspiration hits, I'm like, let's record. Let's not overthink it. Let's just go, boom, put it out there. Our responsibility is to put it out there and then leave it up, let go of the outcome. You know, I'm not fretting about anymore about how this is perceived, who's going to hear it. My responsibility lies in expressing myself, my story, my truth, and in sharing that with you and letting go of the outcome and in enjoying the process. Joy, so important in the process. Bueno, con esto les dejo y les mando un gran abrazo. Alles Liebe euch, ich hoffe es geht euch gut. J'espère que vous allez bien. Et voilà, this is episode 21 of Mel's Magic. I am Magic Mel. This is Owl, my spirit guide, one of them. Spirit animal. And we're almost at the end of season 3, one more episode to go. Thank you for being here with me. I'm super happy. that you're all here. If you like my video, please hit the like button. Helps my channel grow. And if you enjoy my videos, subscribe. Check out season 1 and season 2 of Mel's Magic. And share with friends and family, vale? And I'm always open for comments and feedback, any ideas, anything, any reflection, open to it, vale? Okay, that was a lightning. Have a good day, guys, and see you for episode 22 soon. Ciao.